Welcome to another episode of Treasure Corals. In today's video, we are going to talk about newly announced product by AquaIllumination called Orbit. And while many of you are familiar with Gyre style power heads, this particular one brings a few new tricks to the table, and I think it's worth talking about. With that said, let's dive right in. Let's take a step back. I've been using AquaIllumination and Ecotech products for over 10 years, and I've used them on all of my aquariums. This aquarium behind me is lit by blades. As a matter of fact, I'm running AquaIllumination blades on both of my signature series aquariums, and this is an SPS tank and it looks pretty awesome. But one thing that was always missing is any type of gyre power head in those aquariums. You have to be on a different ecosystem. So just from that perspective, I'm super excited that now I have something that works with Mobius, and it works with now Apex because of the MXM, and I'm buying into the whole family, so similar to an Apple product where, and yes, I'm an iPhone guy, where adding more of products into an ecosystem, there is definitely a benefit. So in my particular case, I'm very happy that I can control everything from one controller, and I can just go to my Mobius or Apex, press one button, and then control all of my products. I find that this is extremely helpful when I need to do a certain operation. Even when I'm shooting this video, I can just press one button on my phone or even on a physical controller, and then my lighting is going to change to what I want for the video. I can bring down the flow, and everything is done through one device. Same applies to, for example, if I want to slow down the flow when I'm acclimating a new fish or coral, or when I'm doing feeding. So I want everything to be orchestrated, and that is why being part of one ecosystem is very important to me. So when I found out that Gyre is going to be coming to this ecosystem, I was very excited. And let's call it for what it is. It is, from what I understand, a licensed Gyre model, and I think Ecotech or AquaIllumination brings a few additions to this. So one of them is ecosystem, so being part of it, the controllability, and then the second part is power. From what I understand, it's actually more powerful, and this particular unit really carries a lot of power with it. But enough talking, let's actually take a look at the unit and see how I've been running it. And I have been running it for at least 2 months now on this particular aquarium to great results. I'm excited to show you this product in action, but before we do it, let's do a little bit of unboxing. I usually do not do unboxing videos, but in this case I just wanted to show you a couple of extras that do come in this box. So as you can see, I've already opened it up, and I made quite a mess out of it, I think, and I feel bad for folks at AquaIllumination for doing all this origami work, because everything is nice and compact, but as with Christmas presents, you just go and roll with it. So there's a manual, but this is what the actual Orbit looks like. You've got this signature AquaIllumination teal color as the accent, which I think is going to look quite nice when it's in water. The unit itself is pretty straightforward. You've got these angles, so for A and B rotors, where you can angle it up or down, and all of you will recognize this controller. So this is the standard controller for Nero 3, Nero 5, Nero 7. It also comes with the same set of, the power adapter, although this power adapter is a little bit bigger than some of the smaller ones for Nero 5. And you've got all the connectors here for different countries. I think this is us here in North America. You just slide it in and you're done. I will remove this protector as well. So that is it. Plug this one in and we are ready to go. One thing that I noticed that came with this unit that didn't come with the prototype early on is this mesh. And I think it's pretty straightforward. This mesh is going to go on top of these rotors if you want to protect your propellers from any, I think, small fish or crustaceans or anemones. So that's a little fish guard right here. I'm probably not going to use it, at least in the beginning, but this is it's quite useful for people that care about this. So that's the dry side. This one is the dry side. You got the wet side, which now will become wet. So let's put it to test. So here's my tank, and you cannot even see those two orbits. They just blend in. As you can remember, I've done everything on this tank. I've done 4 MP40s, which I absolutely love for the flow, and I've had them on the back wall and then on the two sides. But here I wanted to do something a little bit different and just place them. This is probably not the most optimal way to run gyres. A lot of people use them on two sides of the tank, but in this particular case I just love the fact that you have zero view of the power heads when you're having the side view, which I really like. So I really like that view, and I find that because it's so wide, you actually get on a 4-footer full coverage. So here I'm running them at a much slower speed than what they're capable of, and they also do ramp up and ramp down. I usually use a reef crest mode with the variety of intensity, but in this case I've been running these two orbits for close to 2 months now on this aquarium, and everything that you see here is actually the result of the tanks using the blade lighting. So there's 3 grows and also using 2 orbits. So this is what powers this aquarium. And you can see that I also am using or running very demanding corals here. There's lots of SPS, which all look pretty awesome. Here's Marvin the Martian. But I also have added some very nice torches, which look amazing under the blue light. And everybody's super happy. So this is my little red Ferrari right over here. And here the look is at 10K because this is kind of the best to observe all the fish and also the products. But maybe we'll switch it to blue in a second to enjoy some of the fluorescent eye candy. But here's all the fish in this aquarium, and they look phenomenal. So orbit. For anybody who's familiar with Gyre, Gyre has been around forever now. I think the biggest improvement is all the newer versions are a lot easier to service. I remember running the first version of MaxSpec Gyre, and while the flow was amazing, servicing them was a pain. Well, this particular unit I actually have not serviced once, and has been running for the past 2 months. And like I said, it's not running at full speed right now, but it's more than enough to keep my corals happy, and also having some nice polyp extension, as we can see right over here. Now, I really like also the fact that you've got that beautiful flow that comes in. It's very wide, and you can see it's all the way up at the top, so maybe 2 inches underneath, and it's not getting any of the water in. And once again, this is common for all the different gyres, but I'm excited about it because last time I was running gyres was I want to say 6 to 8 years ago, and since then it was all MP40s for me, but having that flexibility was certainly a very big benefit for me. Another cool thing about gyres is that you can run it in reverse. I personally haven't found very good use for this yet. I played around with this, but I really like just that gyre flow coming from the back wall all the way down. So for me, the reason I would run it in reverse is when the two of them are on the opposite corners, and I have played with it, but right now this is how I am running it. And also you can angle side A and side B of it, so you can point them up, you can point them down, just finding that angle that works the best for you. In my case, it's kind of running about maybe 20-30 degrees down, and then it hits the wall, and then it comes back and does that circle, which I do like a lot. So let's take a look at this under blue light. And here we are with a little bit of actinic thrown in. And you can see that those torches starting to look a lot nicer, especially the one kind of behind. It's got some gold streaks right there. I'm not a big torch expert, so I always forget the names, but at some point I'm going to look them up, and I think at least one of them is the New York Knicks. Oh, hey, he is photobombing right here. This beautiful powder blue. So everybody's looking phenomenal. Everybody's very happy, and I'm really impressed with the fact that just two power heads are able to sustain and keep this pretty demanding SPS reef thriving with just not even running at 100%. Now notice that I'm also using sand, so once in a while I get one of those patches and I need to just move the sand around, but in my opinion it's worth it. I love sand and I don't think I ever want to run an aquarium without it personally, but I always am jealous of pure SPS tanks that just crank everything up to like no tomorrow, and if I could do it I would, but for me sand is more important. But these orbits are more than capable of cranking everything up. So that is orbit, and it's just like another gyre. There's not too much of a difference in terms of the actual design, but I think that the power and controllability are things that at least for me would make it always worth it to go with the AquaIllumination version. Gyres make a great addition to a display tank, but also they are perfect for a frag tank, especially for frag tanks that are on the shallow end. This is not a super shallow tank, and you can see that my trusty MP40s have done a lot of good work in keeping my whole frag tank happy. However, when I was able to add a gyre, which is the AquaIllumination one, I decided to add it, and this is pretty unique, but this is what you can do here. You can add it all the way at the bottom, and this particular custom frag rack that I design and make is pretty shallow. I think it's only 3.5 inches, and yet you can see that this particular power head is pretty amazing when it comes to this utility. So I can position it all the way at the bottom, and keep in mind that there is a Euro brace at the bottom as well, otherwise I would be able to get even lower. But I can run it so that it goes all the way across. There's probably close to 3 feet here, and yet it hits very well. It's very wide flow, and then it comes up when it hits this particular wall. So that is awesome, and one less place where there can be any detritus. So that is yet another way that one can run a gyre pump, and this thing is a beast. I can run it close to 100%, and I haven't found any detritus underneath the frag rack at all, which was always a problem for me before. And I like it from that perspective, but also one could run it across the top of the tank. Now this tank is I think over 16 inches high, so there is no need in running a gyre. You can also use MP40s here, but for people with 13-inch or 14-inch tanks, and if you really want to crank up the flow, you could position this at the top. So whether you run it at the top of the tank, below the tank, I think Gyre makes a great addition to any frag tank as well. And again, many other videos on the merits of Gyre. I'm just showing you what I personally do, and this particular powerhead, I don't think I would want to run a frag tank without it. So it's a great complement to my MP40s, same as these blades are complementing very nicely my Radiance. So it's great to see both AquaIllumination and Ecotech products work so well together, and also being able to control them using Apex product, so which also connects to Mobius. So you've got 4 different companies all working together, or 4 different products working together, and it's phenomenal. So we live in an amazing world over here. I could not imagine all that symbiosis even 5 years ago. This wraps up today's review. I'm really curious what you think of this newly announced orbit. Is it something that you will consider running in your aquarium? Do you think that this is just repetition of something that's already out there? Do you think that the power increase is going to be worth it? Write in the comments below, and we'll talk about it in one of the new videos. With that said, thank you for watching Treasure Corals channel, and check out treasurecorals.com.